Hi, everybody. Welcome to Crypto Happy Hour. I'm your host, Bill, and this is
Toby.
Bill and Toby here, the Unhinged Crypto team with the Crypto Happy Hour Monday night. Toby, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I've got my company. You got coffee?
Yeah, we got coffee. We're waking up here. We're waking up. So the market, boo,
The market's
Boo.
waking up.
boo hoo.
I know. You're very good today,
Oh
Bill.
my
And that's
God.
why we're here.
That's the crypto therapy.
This is crypto therapy. Yeah, for all the people who are sad about the market going down.
All right, so let's welcome who's here.
Who's here?
Big Rich is here. Welcome. K9 Crypto. Big Rich is a member over on my channel, as well as Bob. Bob, what's up? Bob's going to be back after dinner, so we'll make sure we catch Bob up.
Maybe we'll do a little recap
We'll,
at the
we'll,
end.
we'll hook Bob up. Okay. Frankie B is here with the Notorious Love.
Hello.
What's up? Right. Miklo is in the house.
Jessica.
Noting that the camera is never off, baby. It's never off. 2 live streams in 2 days, helping everybody out here.
And for those people who are wondering where the other live stream is.
Right. The other live stream is in the member area, right?
Where we do this plus more.
Right. Where we answer questions and we get very busy on sector picks. So that is kind of the home. I don't know. What can we say? Can we say it's the home of the model portfolio show?
Well,
that's
what we're working towards, which is what I'm excited about.
Is about, like, basically, let's say we're active portfolio management, right? We're going to be
and we'll talk some about that today as part of the crypto therapy, because I think if you're upset about the market, it's because you don't have a larger view of what you're doing and what you need to do.
Right.
So my allergies have been bothering me. I know you've heard me complain. If I scratch my nose, it's because I'm trying not to sneeze.
We're among friends here. So the QR code I'll leave that up there for a bit. That will get you a membership where you get basically all of our joint altcoin work, right? All of our joint altcoin work and then some. Special live, right? Special live streams
and
with
the special live streams.
With the dual magic with the analyst and the other analyst who's also a point. Right?
You have so many different names for what I do.
Right. Well,
I just like to call it the woo.
The woo. Right. Well,
let's go.
Nobody has better woo than we do. Period.
Queen of the woo.
Right. So we really appreciate you guys being here. And of course, this also is a reminder, welcoming the Patreon members, patreon.com/unhinged crypto. Thank you to our members for making this all possible, right? And of course, we want to also remind you to like and subscribe to the channel. You don't have any money, right? We have all kinds of stuff, but if you don't have any money, Unhinged Crypto, Bill and Toby are here for you to help you out. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. What else we got here? Alexandra is here. Welcome.
Hello.
Miklo, hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? I got an idea.
Okay.
Right. Raj is here. Welcome. All right. So market gets hammered. And what do you do on days when the market gets hammered?
I love that you think it's hammered, because I don't really even pay attention until it's like 15 to 20% down. And what are we? Let's see. Bill brought banner bubbles up.
Okay, yeah, I got to share the screen.
Share the screen, Bill. We want to know what you're looking at.
Okay, so this is today, like September 30th, right?
So what I see when this is just the last hour. Did you want to do
today? Right. So there's today.
Yeah. So what I'm seeing is 5, 6.
Right.
Core.
this is an insight into the method, right?
Is it?
Is it?
I
I mean,
well,
it's really
so when
interesting.
I look at this, I mean, this is the top 100, right?
Right.
But to me, this is a minor dip. And again, if there's not volatility, it looks like waves. Um, so this just looks like another buying opportunity for me for the things that I like because they're on a temporary sale. But another way to look at it, so this is the top 100,
Right.
right? Okay, so let's go into a sector because so this is the thing, when there's a dip like this,
Right.
a really good thing is to look at different sectors and see what's holding up.
Okay. So this is deep in,
Which is our new.
discussed last night. I don't know if we know all the picks.
No, we cannot.
Okay. we cannot, but this was the sector that we were looking at. This sector was up like 20% and it's down 5%. So it's actually a pretty healthy retracement.
Yeah. So one way to look at, so you go like this and you're like, okay, so retracement, you use that word. I don't know what it means, but so you look at it and again, we're looking at 4, 5, 6, 7%. Some of them a little bit bigger. Those I would be like, I'm curious about why that one's going down a little bit. But what's even more exciting is we got 3 big ones that went up. And so that's really good. But for perspective now, I would go, okay, so today's not a good day, but let's look where we are for the week. Because, oh my God, well, there we go. A couple of my favorites that were on our list are up way, way more over the week, right? And then if you go to the month, then you're like, oh, so this shows you what's still really strong, right? When you break it out like that. If you just pay attention to the day, then you're a day trader. And good luck with that. It's not what I do. It's not what I do. It's too much work, and the potential for profits over the long term just seems like greater. So, look at one like CLO. So for the month, it's up 100%.
Right.
You want to look at the chart?
Sure. Right. So that's 1 month.
Look how pretty that chart is.
That is definitely pretty.
So this would be one. This would be one where you'd look at it and go, well, if everything's down, but look at its performance over the month, that would be a good. And over the year, it's up 300%, right?
Right.
That looks very, very strong to me. So that's why it's when we have these little dips like this, is a really good time to look at who's doing really good despite all of that. So now I go back to today. Okay, see Clark still up 4% for the day when everything else is down. Okay. Now go to the hour. Okay, so it's down 1% over the hour. Oh, and look at the cow one's going back up.
Right. Yeah,
okay. So to me, that just looks like energy movements. It's not down, it's moving. It's, like to me, markets are living things that feed on the energy of the people who invest in, right? Because I work with energy. That's how I do everything. And so they have their own particular energy, and you can see it when you look at a chart. If they weren't moving, they would be dead. They're animals, right? It's alive. Everything is alive with energy. So I don't want something that's not moving. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if it's a daily 0.5% growth, what's the fun of that?
Right. Well, crypto bros want up only.
Okay, so that's deep in, and that's one of our new favorites that we're really looking at.
Right.
And we brought up deep in. I think we did a report on it earlier this year, and then everything went down for the summer. But I think this is super strong. I think it's a great bucket to look at for some real heavy growth. But let's go to DeFi because we've been talking about DeFi for a few weeks, and let's see how this downturn has affected DeFi for today. So
Right, so
there's still there's
right was
that's something I've liked for a long time.
right, who was the
But
top pick?
more interesting to me, so there's some that are green today that are top picks of mine, but there's a couple that I haven't been paying too much attention to, and one of them is up 45%. That's like, ooh, so this is how I get ideas about what is happy when everybody else is sad. So click on that one. Let's take a look at it. And what is it? Does it tell you at the bottom? Usually on the bottom left, if you scroll, bottom left, other left, yeah, scroll there. Oh, coming soon. So we don't know.
Okay, so this has got official links, so I can go to the website from Banter. Okay, so this is an Oracle. This is like data management. I know you're kind of into this. You know,
yes,
a data
yes,
management
yes.
pick.
Yeah.
So this and there's Uma. There's a couple of these like data. I don't know if you want to call them crypto centers.
Yeah, I think cloud is one of them too, right?
It could be.
One that I've been looking at. Yeah, so this is really cool. So now we're like, okay, here's a sector of the DeFi market that people are really believing in when other things are getting boring.
Right.
And I would look how long it's been around. So I'd go out to a year.
Right. So if you go to the 1 year chart,
look at that. It's hit its all-time high in the last year. That is a very, very good sign for me. And look at that candle, as Bill likes to call it.
Right. Yeah. You have the sort of the God candle move there. Let's
God candle.
Right.
On your knees and pray, boy.
Pray. On my knees and pray.
Pray to the God candle. Okay, so that's DeFi. To me, it doesn't look that bad. There's a lot that are down. If you really like the project, that's an opportunity to buy. And then also we got some really good information on things that are holding up still, and some of those are on our list.
Right. And there's Arrow 10%, which
that's a
I know that
opportunity.
that kind of feels juicy to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, look at the chart if you want.
Right.
I know we talked about it yesterday. I know how much you like Arrow, so let's look at it again. Okay, so that looks like a big dip. That's a day, right?
Right. That's an intraday chart.
Okay.
I'm just going to right. We looked at a lot of stuff on Coinbase.
That's Bitcoin.
Right. So this is Arrow.
Okay.
Right. This is very short term. Right. There's a juicy zone around $1.05 in Arrow.
Okay.
At least if you're thinking tactically, it's like a lot of people are like, where do I get in? Right. If you look at it this way, Arrow just got to kind of a premium zone. So maybe this back off, this like retracement or little dip is logical.
Now pull it out so we can see it for longer. Oh yeah. So now it doesn't look like it hardly went down at all. It looks like it's ready to go back up. To me.
Right.
What does that look like? Do you want to draw a little triangle or I want to read head and shoulders, bottom with Alice in Wonderland, and
there's nothing wrong with the head and shoulders teacup. Figure the base.
That's nice to me.
Okay. So I mean, again, down in this like $1.09 area, if they happen to hit it again, but as Big Rich likes to say, money flow is just coming in, and any exiting that was done has been multiple times.
Yeah,
there is a when in doubt, zoom out. I know Arrow was a top performer on the way up. I think a lot of this profit taking or a lot of this selling had to do with some of the news, right? There's like FTX news that people are going to get all their money back and sell.
Oh yeah, you were saying that would make people nervous because they might
Right,
just
because
sell
it is a huge amount of money. It's as much money as has gone into the Bitcoin ETF so far.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, back on us.
Right, we are back on us.
I can't see.
Right, we're back.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to take the beer.
That's right.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Uh, I think some people will, because some people probably experience the FTX thing as like, thank God I'm out of it. Unfortunately, I'll never get back in. There'll
On
be
out of
those
crypto.
people. But there's other people who are not. And I personally think a big thing. So if everybody else wants to freak out,
Right,
again, my strategy is what's everybody else doing? Oh, do the opposite. Because the crowd is normally wrong. That's what my great mentors have taught me.
right,
Any investment advice, first is buy what you love. Second is do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. And like I said, I was in real estate a
right,
long time ago, and always do the opposite of what everybody else is doing.
right. Fading the herd. Today's freak out trade, like the geopolitical freak out trade,
I love those.
seem to get more serious. But I mean, it's hard not to blow them off. That's the only thing that's easy about the dip for me, right?
Well, it's really interesting because you were just saying this to me yesterday or something about how we talked about in the show the decoupling,
right
right? And it's just going to become more and more and more to where it's not even going to make sense to care
about all of these things.
especially when you look at the ETFs that are going on are going to provide a lot of stability. So anyone that's in ETF is not going to have all of the big moves, right? But also as more countries are using it as currency, I mean, I'm super excited about when that happens. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Well, the
I
title.
mean, the promise of Bitcoin was it's a money alternative, and instead of it's becoming it's not a bad thing, but it's just another type of stock market in my mind, right? And I'm like, well, when do we get to actually use it as money? You know, and I saw somebody sent me something about this new thing called Fold. This is not a recommendation. I have not even really looked at it, but it's a way to bank in your Bitcoin and use it for spending, which I mean, I know you can, right? But I want it to be the norm, right? And not, you know, it's
Not
got more,
fringe.
yeah, it should be more, it should be more than just an investment,
Right. Well, the title of the stream is why you need it now, and this whole idea about like getting outside the system, right? Like, I look at the dips in the altcoins, and you have a little bit of oh no, because you put up with this for 6 months.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Bitcoin, when you're dipping it at like 60, they dip it to 64, and everyone goes, "Well, I'll buy it. It'll go down again." And unless I read it wrong, I think I got it right. That you got to get after this thing, these dips, just like Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin is something that you're going to need to get outside the system.
Well, yeah, when you have you know, all of these big investors who are like Michael Saylor or such maximalists with it, why aren't you already all in? I mean, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. That's your favorite saying. Yeah, so to me, all of it is exciting because it's evolving, and it so much reminds me of when the internet came out. This knowledge is like nothing we've ever seen before. And I was listening to somebody was telling me about now they're like tech stocks, but in the beginning, if you were investing, you were investing in internet stocks, and the whole rest of the world was like, "What are those? That sounds scary. You're putting money into something that's not real." All the things that we talk about
Now with
now
crypto,
with crypto, right? And it's just because people don't know, you know.
right?
I like to explain it to people, and sometimes their eyes glaze over a little bit, you know. But this is the opportunity of a lifetime, you know. What you and I will be able to see over the next 20 years is like nothing we could even imagine. You know, we hear these terms like Web3 and, you know, we have no idea. We're like at the stage in if you compare it to like the internet growth is. Remember when people used to buy domain names and flip them?
Right,
When that was a huge thing. Oh, I bought McDonald's. Now they have McDonald's.com, right?
right.
And it was silly, you know. But that's what people thought that was the thing, right? And now we're like, that's the dumbest thing ever, you know.
Right. I mean, with the Chinese doing the stimulus that they've done, right? In other words, deflation, people putting money in the system. I talked this about market update. You know, these kind of things are ignited like 10-year bull markets. I mean, that was my conclusion from listening to you last night. Right. This isn't the bottom of a 18-month pump and dump. This is the start of something bigger, or at least that's what I've been thinking.
It
Because
is. It's so much bigger than we can even imagine. And these are still the early days, you know. I mean, I kicked myself because I was looking at Bitcoin when it was $100, and I was just like, I don't know, I like the idea of it, you know, but I didn't think it would. I mean, I didn't know if I believed that people would see the vision of it, you know. And so I'm happy that it's come this far, you know, that I got in as early as I did, you know. So, um, but we're still so early, you know, that
right,
it's
right.
silly. There's in 2 years from now, when you know Bitcoin's trading at over 200, not a prediction, but I'm just saying, um, you're going to be like, remember when it was 60 and I didn't think I should buy it, you know?
Right.
That's what was driving me crazy about the summer, you know, was because it was like,
Yeah, I mean, they regularly invented. It was unbelievable how they absolutely regularly invented.
well, and you know, if I believed in conspiracy theories, I would say, isn't it interesting that after the ETF came out, there was like depression in Bitcoin price. That's how it felt to me. You know, it's like this is way undervalued. Why aren't people buying up huge amounts of it? You know, and
Right.
that was
Well,
the whole summer. Everybody's all sad. Oh, it's a down market, and I'm like, that's the greatest thing that could happen. You know.
right, right, and yeah, now they're doing it again on FTX. The market always finds something to worry about, right? And I think part of what also happened is that people got way too excited, possibly about meme coins.
You know,
So meme coins today,
that gummy thing is really
yeah,
going. I think that's hilarious.
yeah, gummy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan, but if you want to ask me about particular
Yeah, so
ones,
that's a new high. So yeah, they're
mm,
doing gummy for
or like
sure.
the past week, it's been,
So,
yeah, Moodang came out recently.
yeah, that's the
Deco.
same, right? Pumps up 121% a
Well, that
week.
was one of my big picks. It was one of the ones I really
Right, that was the one in report. But hey, I guess if you're into this is your day to jump in. Some of these things are down like 20%. And this is typical. I mean, Pepe down 6%. Me, I don't know. That feels super
or
juicy,
Mother down
right?
20%. That one's been popular.
Right. That's like the return of the celebrity coin, which is one of your more radical predictions. The celebrity coins are going to come back. Somebody today was asking me about dog,
Mm.
right? So again, and there's DGen down there. That's meme with a purpose down 8%.
Yeah, and you know what? We looked at DGen like really early this year. If it's got a I don't know. I mean, for me, the meme coins are going to revolve around um, these communities. That's what they're super useful for. Communities, ideas, like we're seeing with the political coins, or we're seeing with the celebrity coins.
Right.
That's definitely a strong direction that it's going to go into. But I think a lot of people will say, "Hey, I was in Pepe." I mean, that was like one of the first shows that I came on
Right. Way back in the day, right?
when it was
We
new.
saw a square formation in Pepe. For anybody who doesn't know, I saw the square formation in Pepe, and then Miss Toby used her method at the time to say, "Yeah, I like this." And that was the 1000x, actually in the middle of the bear market. So that was totally unbelievable. That was like Miss Toby splash onto the scene along with Solana, right? Big Rich is
Ceylon was after that.
Big Rich is noting that Bonk is up again, right? That's
I think somebody asked me about on this show a few weeks ago.
I think so, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and we pulled some cards on it.
right, and Bonk is essentially leveraged Solana, right? All the big meme coins. They're like levered versions of Solana. So if you go to Bonk, right, like Bonk is up 6% today,
Whoop whoop.
right? It's got a lot of that good Lux algo support underneath it, right? And then WIF is also up on the day. The thing that's unbelievable about WIF is that it just got back to the balance zone. It was WIF had to rally so dramatically just to get back to balance. So I think the hedge funds are after these big meme coins, something serious.
You think so?
I think so. Because when I listen to you, then I'm like, because you're pretty much like, some people like buy the dip, and then you're like the Matrix. There is no spoon. There is no dip.
Take the
It's all in your head, and the market just invented two new things to worry about today, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's like the latest illusion that creates opportunity. Because I remember when the stock megatrend started.
It is like the Matrix. It's exactly like the Matrix. I loved when that movie came out because I'm like, oh, people think this is a movie, but what? It's what it really is.
It's what it really is. We're living in a
But
simulation.
I mean, I've said, oh yeah, but I studied quantum physics in college, so there's a lot of scientific theory about that. Somebody just won a Nobel Prize for it years ago. But anyway, so it's not all just blue anymore. But anyway, I mean, I've said my whole life since I was a teenager. I was pretty radical back then, but I was like, listen, if they're trying to make you afraid, there's a reason.
Right.
Do the opposite. And there's a famous Rumi quote: "Move, but move in the direction, not the direction that fear makes you want to move." So for me, it's also, like a spiritual practice that you don't let other people's fear influence your mind. And that's where we go back to the matrix, right? You got to pull yourself out of that crazy thinking because they're trying to control and manipulate you. Whenever, not a conspiracy theory. I'm not talking like there's a cabal or anything, but I mean that you can't let yourself get sucked into that kind of negative energy because usually it's the exact opposite of whatever they say. There's going to be a war. It's another World War III. How many times?
Oh, I don't know.
Heard that?
Yeah,
three times in the past 2 years.
We're all sitting around waiting for our calendar, right, for some kind of conflict, right? And I know there's a lot of serious stuff going on, but announced conflicts don't happen, and the scarier the news. I did a huge poll post super late at night. You were pretty much like, I'm in the business of listening to you, so you're like, you need to get on the air now. And I'm like, all right, well, we're just bull post into a down market. right? Don't bull post into, at the top because that's too easy.
Yeah, well, that's
Bull post it into a down market, even if, if you believe in an altcoin banana trade or even a Bitcoin banana move,
hmm
2017 was this way.
hmm
Like you had to get on it on the dip. You had to get on the dips quick, or once everybody got super like pumped up, you get these like 30% drops. That happened like once or twice, but
yeah,
a lot of
those are
times,
drops.
yeah, those are
That's
those
why
are
I don't even look at these 5, 6, 7% overall, And again, you can say, well, not everything's down, right? So if you're
right.
smart,
Yeah, I mean, you got people like I'm interpreting what you're saying, and I'm like, get people in, right? Get people in because last year at this time, you got paid to grab this thing, right? Like we were, I did Sui versus Solana, right?
it looks
Everyone's
a lot like some of the early days when I very first
right. I mean, if
saw
you
it.
if you freaked out and got out of Solana when it made a move from 20 to 60, um, you weren't happy later on, right? You were just not happy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's people today going, "Oh, okay, well, the market went up and that's it." And we're basically saying that's not it at all, right?
Yeah, I think it's good to look long term.
Right on.
Don't feel out, look long term, keep calm and carry on. Uh,
Get after it.
get after it. Yeah,
Get
what
after it.
other cliches can we throw up here?
Well, I mean, the people who make the most money, like hedge fund managers, guys like Stan Druckenmiller, these guys, they had conviction, right? Say, I'm going to put all my eggs in one basket and watch that basket. It's pretty much the opposite of what most financial theory discusses. Diversification.
Mm.
He's like, and I guess in our terms, he would be like, I'm getting crypto. I'm going to buy the sectors that we talk about.
Well,
And
that is a bit of a diversification,
it
yeah.
is within crypto. But I mean,
Or you could just do Bitcoin and be happy, whatever whatever makes you happy. There's so many different strategies for when I have friends ask me outside, my the first question I ask them is, well, what do you want to get out of this?
right,
And I think most people just say, well, I just want to make some money. And I'm like, well, that's really easy, you know, but, just don't look at it. Put some money in some of the bigger, more stable ones and don't ever look at it. For me, it's, I think it is the easiest opportunity to invest in technology that we've ever seen, and a way of changing the world, and a way of changing the way we use money. And for me, I'm all about the big idea from the
right,
beginning, right? And I think because I have that conviction, it gets me over all the hard times,
right,
because I believe in this technology. I believe in it so much. I believe this is the future. And if you believe in that, then you gotta be prepared to hold on to those convictions when times get tough. Because I'm married to the idea. How we often talk about flirting, dating, and marrying with coins, right? Well, I'm married to this idea. Full
right on. That's that's a mic drop right there, people.
time. And we're doing
It's if we go back, if we go back to banter, when I was listening, I was thinking about layer ones,
yeah.
right?
And then look
Um,
at today. That's the
right.
week.
So today, you got a lot of these coins, a lot of them down 5%. Like Galaxy Gaming that got hammered today. Right. Dusk got smacked. There are a lot of these coins, like for anybody who's like new, when you talk about Web3 and the future of the internet, like this is the type of stuff that you're talking about. Like,
Absolutely.
and this is
And one thing that's good to look at, so it's a down day, and we're in sector layer ones.
right,
Look at who's doing good, like Route.
right, Route and Phantom down in the corner.
Yeah,
Like Phantom has just been an absolute beast.
and I think that was in one of our reports recently.
Right. I mean, it's just like Phantom. You know, Phantom, you're actually getting, you know, it's actually been going sideways. So it's somewhat of an opportunity.
Is that 1 month? Oh, it's
This
not
is-
going
this is-
sideways. I mean, a little bit
Right.
recently
I
in the
meant
past
short
week.
term, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, in some of these things where there's a pause, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I wanted to see that.
Right. Route.
Oh, what is it? It's down. Connecting ecosystem. Chain abstraction. I have no idea. I hate when I look at it and
And you can't
And
tell
I
what it is.
yeah, I wish they would use English.
All right. Well, sometimes
They have a nice website though, so that's good.
yeah. So, sometimes DYOR, do your own research is a lot of work, right? You know, it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So if I can't figure out their website, like, it's harder for me to believe in the project, right? And so I tend to probably why I'm like, "Oh, that sounds familiar," but yeah, it has to resonate with me, you know, it just has to. And also, I looked at their year performance, depending on how new they are, they were down for the year.
Right. I know you're big on like what's
Well,
down from here. And sometimes they say the worst coins pump the hardest. That can be true,
it can,
which is why
yeah.
you have to be careful. But I mean, again, if you look at,
But
you
see,
know,
following those hard and fast rules is really challenging. But I know people don't see the market kind of the same way I do. Maybe you can't look at a chart and feel the energy of it. Like but what you do, that's why I like when you show the Lux Algo charts, because that's something that everybody can do, right? Is they can look at a chart and find those little whatever retrace all the other words that you use them to
retracement, you know, there's pump, dump, there's equilibrium, discount,
yeah, so
premium.
just for fun, because it's up today when everything else is down. Do a chart on that with Lux Algo. I'm just curious because they are down for the year, so that's really interesting to me. And I don't know
Make sure I'm
how
sharing
new
this.
they are.
Okay, so we're doing route.
Just for the fun.
Okay. So I mean, basically, what you're adeptly noticing is that route is in the midst of like a give up trade. In other words, they're giving up on this. See this
Yeah,
red on red,
it's below the red.
right? So I mean, this is just an example of something which is interesting because a lot of times, like when the general market goes down, something that's been getting hammered can sometimes rally.
Yeah, so pull
This
it
is-
out. Wow, it was really up there compared to now.
Right,
That does not look pretty to me.
right. People
I
are-
would wait for a rally on that. It's interesting that it's going up today. So out of curiosity, I would look and then just so you can I like when you translate me to Lux Algo. What I would be looking for is see that red. So you move things.
Sorry. So
Just
this one,
yeah. So I would look for it to go up at least halfway to that other red bar, if not all the way into it. 'Cause it's pretty freaking low.
right?
And
Yeah,
that's only like what, 40% when its potential is like 200%.
right. If it gets back to
I don't
equal,
have the number.
if it gets back to equilibrium,
See, I knew you would have the
it's
right
actually
word.
it's like 58%, right? But what I think what you're saying is, you know, this has got a lot of work to do,
Yeah.
right? It's like you know, one theme is want to look at what's outperforming in this environment, right?
So that one is outperforming, but
just today.
Exactly.
Just today.
So that's why I wanted to show it to people, is because I felt like that was, you know, it was such a big jump when everything else is going down, and sometimes that rally is what you call it, right? Sometimes but you have to do that look at the whole thing, right? And so when you zoomed out on that one, because I didn't have a good feeling, I'm like, I think I looked at that one before. There's a reason I don't like it, you know?
Right.
And so that's kind of how I look at it. Yeah.
Right. You don't want to be in something that people are giving up on into a rally. Right?
Yeah.
You want
And
to
you
be in
can
the
look
stuff.
at, yeah, and you can look at, oops, I lost my pillow. You can look at the chart and see that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's about relative performance. I think Big Rich is Nico's asking about Circoin, and Big Rich is asking about AVAX.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah, let's answer some questions. Like that.
Okay, so here's AVAX.
Is Bob back from dinner?
I don't know if Bob came back. Bob, I'm sure will watch the replay. Bob is definitely
Bob,
like,
if you're here, tell us what you had for dinner.
Bob is an unhinged legend for sure.
Tell us what you had for dinner, Bob. I want to know.
Okay,
I hope it's chicken.
So,
send some over.
You know, Avalanche got to equilibrium zone, right? And now it's kind of dipping back to where this rally started, which is over here at 26. And then if you look at the short-term picture, which you never do, which you're not really into, but
I don't like it.
I
think it gives you, it's a microscopic thing, and then you can't see for me,
right.
I can't see the energy where it's moving, because it's like trying to predict the tide by looking at one wave.
Right. So this is the bigger picture on Avalanche.
So the top high is that March.
Right. This is the top high is March, right? Okay. And then this is a downward sloping wedge, which means Avalanche, is really, off to the races. Money is just now coming in. So
yeah, that doesn't look bad, because see the little peak that it just hit. I mean, it just went down, but who cares? Is almost where the last peak was, and above the middle peak. So that looks like it's
right. So
up. Up and
Avalanche,
Head and Shoulders. What are we looking at here?
I think I think we're looking at this.
Longer the base.
The bigger the base, the higher in the space.
Yeah.
Right.
I love all your little sayings.
Right.
They don't mean anything to me, but they're cute.
Right. Well, I mean, it's the knuckle dragger version of energy, right? This is 3 attempts to hit a market.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work, so it pops out. And even though that's what happened, it's like people got in a little late, and then they get flushed out, and everyone gives up. Everyone gives up pretty quick.
Right? I know, that's so sad for them, but I think it's going to hit that little red zone again. It doesn't look bad to me.
Sure,
it looks like it's working on popping back up. I mean, just because to me those last 3 points are really close to each other.
Right.
So it's like it goes down, but then it just comes right back up. It goes down, but then it just comes right back up. To me.
Okay. And then someone's also asking about, I think, Swift coin. Right. So I gotta type that in.
Is that Taylor Swift coin?
No. Negative. That is not Taylor Swift coin.
I feel like she's going to come out with a coin. I just feel like she should.
Swift
so
coin.
Taylor, if you're out there, listen to me.
Do a meme coin.
I might even buy one. I don't know. I kind of like Taylor Swift.
Right.
I can't name but a few of her songs, but there's just something about her. She's so cute.
Okay, so there's your Swift coin, right?
And not Taylor Swift.
Not Taylor Swift.
Just to
So
clarify.
there's your nerdy formation down there, right? Yeah, the head and shoulders bottom,
Oh, okay.
right? Um, they've really tried to push this down, and every time it goes down, like I don't know if you just do the 4 hour chart, bear with me, right? Every time these things go down lately, like here's down, sit, back up, down, sit, back up,
Yeah.
and eventually these down moves they get smaller and smaller, right?
Yeah.
And you have people who packed it in after a rally. I mean, this is literally something you're seeing quite often. Is that just going back to a normal conversation, the stress of the summer was so great that every time someone sees a rally, they go, "Oh, great! I can alleviate the pain I felt all summer, and now I can get out." When we're trying to actually tell people to get in,
I know, and that is exactly what I'm talking about, moving into fear rather than moving away from fear, right?
that's right.
So they're doing the fear trade, which is, oh, this treated me so badly last time that, I need to get out while it's a little bit up. And they're not zooming out.
No, they're not.
Because I don't know. I mean, you didn't zoom out like a whole bunch on that one, but it felt good to me.
Okay, so Bob's back. He says,
Bob, what'd you have for
he
dinner?
says, I think he said he had a mutant roaster. So that might mean
I have no idea what that is.
It might mean he had.
Bob, do you live on Mars? What are you eating?
Oh man, Bob's checking us out. He says he's looking at chicks. I don't know if that's
Girls at the bars,
I
chicks,
don't know.
or
No, maybe it's a crypto.
I've never heard of it. Checking out the chicks. Their mini skirts.
Crypto.
How do you spell it?
CHIX was how he spelled it.
You can't find it in the.
I can't find it on TradingView. Bob, we may have to get back to you on that one, buddy. Let's try one more thing.
CoinGecko?
Yeah, let's try CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap.
Okay, I like CoinGecko because I have a thing for geckos. There's a couple of them living on my patio. They visit me with my coffee in the morning. Not that you guys care about any of this, but I do like lizards. There it is.
Okay, so yeah, Bob, we're gonna have to get back to you on chicks, buddy. We don't. We're not
That's
seeing
a weird chart.
Yeah. It's I got the wrong symbol there, but we'll get you, man. We'll get you here. Oh, Bob Marsh says chicken. That's what we had for dinner. We're getting. I see. Chicks is how they abbreviate chicken on a register receipt. Oh my God! Wow, this is
okay.
Maybe. Okay, we're all cut off at the bar at happy hour. All right, so Bob had chicken for dinner, right? And we're trying to look up Bob's dinner on CoinMarket. So thank you for shopping with us for crypto.
Bob's dinner is a new meme coin.
Right. Yeah.
What's Bob having for dinner?
Right.
Could be like, where's the beef? Remember that?
Yeah.
Old lady.
Bob's done.
Where's the chick?
Listen, there have been. I still think we should launch Toby Coin, but we'll talk about that. I know you hate that.
No, but I would do Chicks Coin.
You do Chicks Coin? Sure. Yeah.
What's for dinner? Chicks.
You know what? Stranger things have happened. It's happening on Pump.Fun right now as we speak.
Oh
no, we're kidding.
Pump.Fun is.
Yeah, Bob said that's a sign of a new token. Yeah, so we're gonna let Mr. and Mrs. Market handle that. All right, so let's. I got to go to another show.
I know, right. Busy man, but thank you for spending time. I know we're early tonight. I prefer the later show, but.
Well, we definitely appreciate everybody bearing with us. As a reminder, on the way out, don't forget to check out both Patreon and the new YouTube membership.
I know. Right. Thank you so much, all of you Spartans.
Right.
On Patreon. Without you, we would not be able to do this show.
Right. And then, there's the YouTube link down there. You know, pass a visit. Pass a visit. All right, everybody. That is going to do it for this version of Happy Hour. We will see you next time.